Fuck you and you and you. It's that Corsa muffler anthem. Wake your neighbors, throw a tantrum. So guys, we're on the round 2. Thank you for joining me today. As you can see, this is going to be an exciting one because hashtag fuck the neighbors. We are doing Corsa Sport exhaust on the GT500. Again, just to recap, the car has 1 7/8" Cook's long tube headers, 3-inch Cook's off-road X pipe, and a stock mid pipe, and once had stock mufflers. Then we moved very briefly to the Borla Touring mufflers. They were not enough, and I begrudgingly went with the Corsa Sport mufflers. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'm not going to regret this decision. I have a feeling they're going to be a little teeny bit on the obnoxious side, but YOLO. I hear that these are kind of the cat's meow, and this is where it's at. So we're going to go ahead and get these unboxed. We're going to take a look at the quality, and we're going to throw them on the GT500. I'm going to get some content letting you guys hear what they sound like on the GT500, and then we'll do some small clips to let you hear what stock sounded like at startup, with the Borlas, with the Corsas, then at cruise, and a little bit more aggressive part throttle. So let's go ahead and get these opened up and see what they look like. All right, let's dig into these. Got some instructions and a Corsa sticker. I want to go ahead and thank Lethal Performance. We got a slamming ass deal from Lethal Performance on this. So Lethal was able to make this happen. The packaging is already much nicer than the Borlas. So hopefully there will be no melted glue on these things. Weep hole in the bottom of the muffler so they don't hold water. That's a nice thing. And kind of surprised. I thought that there would be some kind of Corsa logos on the mufflers, but there are not. Looks like there was some kind of writing over here. Kind of weird, but okay. Get the other side muffler out. Again, no kind of writing. Got weep holes drilled in the bottom. And we'll get the styrofoam off and check the tips. Alright, so we got the styrofoam off the first one, and that's where all the magic is at right there. And a nice, pretty, shiny tips. Do look like they have a pretty nice finish. Again, weep holes in the bottom of them, so that way as water and condensation is coming through the mufflers, they're not getting stuck inside the packing. They're actually draining out and won't cause any issue with the packing. Let's see if we can shine inside those mufflers. See, those are nice straight through mufflers. Thrown off a little bit by the extra tip in there. I think that's a little funny. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting that to be cut back a little bit and not be so obvious. But I guess that is what it is. So one thing I actually noticed on the back of these, it's a little bit different from other exhaust systems that I had. The tips are not actually fully welded on. Looks like they're just tacked on the top and bottoms, or actually a bead on the tops and bottoms and then a tack on the sides. So looking through this muffler, you can actually see, I don't know if you can see in there, but you can see daylight through between the tips. I don't know if that's a resonance thing. Again, kind of not what I would expect for a set of, you know, almost $1,000 mufflers retail, $800 non-retail. But again, I digress. Let's go ahead and get the other one opened up. Apparently this set I got was made on a Monday or a Friday. So you're gonna see the tip on that one is not fully welded across. Tip on that one is fully welded across. So I don't know what the fuck the deal is with that. Off the bat, I'm really not happy with that. As much as these things cost, I would expect a little bit better quality control. So I'm going to go ahead and call it Corsa, see what they say about this. It's minute, but again, just even looking inside those tips, those kind of look like dog shit. So I wasn't expecting that. Let's see what they say. I just gotta laugh at this shit. So I called Lethal Performance, told them what the problem was with the mufflers, and they were like, these were Corsas that you bought. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're having problems with your Corsas, right? He's like, these are Corsas. I was like, yeah, they're Corsas. He's like, I can't believe you're having a problem with those. He's like, those are top quality. It almost sounds like it was like, you know, not fully finished. I'm like, yeah, you think? So I don't know if I got something that was rushed out. Lethal Performance said that Corsa was actually down at Texas 2K, because I said, hey, you know, can you work with them, see if you can get another set, you know, shipped out to me pretty quick, because now the car's in the air, got no exhaust on it. I don't feel like putting the exhaust back on to drive it, so now, you know, I'm going to be another week out of driving this thing, and it's like 70 degrees out right now. I was really excited for this. So he said that they're down at Texas 2K, send him some pictures, and, you know, see what happens. So, story of my life, this is just how luck goes. Every time I buy, like, the top tier, high-end parts, this is the kind of shit that happens to me. So, I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. We'll be back in a week or so when we get new mufflers, and we'll see what happens with new mufflers. All right, guys, so it is the next day. I did a little bit more research, and it turns out the pipe inside the tip is not a defect from Corsa. For some reason, I don't understand why, but for some reason that is part of the design. In my opinion, I think that is very sloppy for what usually goes for $800 mufflers, but I see the actual MSRP is like $1,000 on these things. So for $800 to $1,000 mufflers, that is sloppy. But begrudgingly, what I'm going to do for the people, I may suck this up. I'm going to install the mufflers for this video. I want to see if I even like them. Technically, the tip issue not being fully welded is technically a cosmetic issue. Because those pipes are inside the tips, they're taking the brunt of all the pressure. So, since two of the welds were a little bit longer welds, there were about 1.5 inch welds, and then there were 2 tacks, there shouldn't be any pressure on the tips where it would cause the welds to break on the tips. I don't have to worry about any soot and shit coming out of the back of the tips, because again, technically that pipe is going through there. So again, this is a cosmetic thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to install them. If I like them, I'm going to reach out to Corsa, reach out to Lethal and say, hey, you know, I'll suck it up, I'm not very happy about it, but if you're willing to throw me a couple bucks, you know, a pretty decent discount, I'll stick with it, as long as I don't have to worry about any ringing in the tips or any weird shit happening. So let's go ahead on with the install, and how do you say, let's wake the dead. So we are going to get the driver's side muffler on first. If you want my professional opinion, I like to line up the hangers first. So you see the hangers are, or the brackets are sitting on the hangers in their orientation that they're going to bolt up to the car. We're going to go ahead and lift up the mufflers, and then we'll start getting some bolts started for the mufflers, get them hung, and then kind of shimmy them around and tighten them from there. Alright, so we're going to get the pipe end started first into the cat back, and then we'll get the hangers up and bolt those in place. Alright, so I got the first hanger, or the first bracket up. What I'm finding now is this hanger is too short. If you see where the bolt hole is, if you go all the way out to line that up, the hanger is actually not sitting inside, not actually sitting inside the bracket. So, strike number 3 against Corsa. Driver's side muffler on, you're going to see, if you can see inside that hanger, or inside the bracket, that hanger is just barely touching that bracket. So I may be able to angle that hanger a little bit forward. Again, I shouldn't have to do this on expensive mufflers, but I'm going to angle that hanger forward and see if that hits in there a little bit better. Alright, this just gets better and better as it goes. I wasn't going to really make this an install video. I was going to make this just general Corsa awesomeness video. But if you can see, this bracket is all the way tight, and the pipe is not tight in the muffler, like, whatsoever. If you look at these brackets, that nut, or that expansion nut, or whatever the hell you want to call that thing, spacer, is maxed out on this side, it's not on that side. Driver's side is now hung. I took this bracket off, flipped this around, and found out that it actually was symmetrical. Just didn't look symmetrical up there when you tighten it. So now you see, I got it tight. I did it with a ratchet this time instead of air tools. You'll see that thing expanded out like crazy. So hopefully that does not work its way loose, but pipe is tight now, so everything should be good to go. All right, so with a little bit of coaxing, the mufflers are on. I think they look good. Again, this one sticks out a little bit more. I kind of had the same thing with the Borlas, so I'm thinking I may need to adjust the mid pipe a little bit. I do think the hangers need adjustment. Guys, again, for 800 to 1,000 bucks, you shouldn't have to fuck with any of this stuff. So we're gonna have Gavin go ahead and start up the car, and we're gonna see how quick my neighbors come out and start yelling.
Take it out of gear. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. That was loud, huh? Alright guys, so the cold start is significantly louder. Significantly louder than what the Borlas were. Let's let it cool down or simmer down and see what it does once it gets to normal idle temperature. Do a little bit of in-car footage now that you guys have heard it outside of the car. If you're not in it, it's not that bad inside the car. So if you shift normal, you shift it under 2 grand, and you're not on the gas pedal, it's not bad. Once you get into it, like 3 grand, or you give it some gas, it gets pretty loud. Granted, I have the windows up right now though, so we're gonna get more of an idea of what it sounds like cruising. I did some cruising between 2 and 3 grand. I don't hear any drone from the mufflers, which that's a good thing. All I hear is gear whine, which obviously I had that before. Mufflers ain't gonna change that. So inside the car with the windows up, I would say it is pretty pleasant. It doesn't bug me. Windows down, let's see how it goes. Again, pulling through my neighborhood, it was pretty obnoxious when you get on the gas. Downshifts, you're gonna hear that motherfucker pop pretty good. Let's do another downshift. So you get in it through a neighborhood, yeah, they're gonna get pretty pissed. But again, if you kind of keep it around 2 grand, yeah, you know it's there, but it's not too crazy. So right now we're cruising about 2 grand in 3rd gear. I'm gonna pull up to a stop sign, we're gonna go down the road, and you know, I'll try and drive like a normal human being. GT500. So it seems like right about 2,500 it starts opening up. 2,200, not bad. That's where it's gonna piss people off right there. It's about 2,800 right there. And you get your little bit of popping. You're on a fifth gear at $2,000, you don't hear nothing but wind noise. So again, fifth gear, $2,000, you hear absolutely nothing in the car. Honestly, I'm gonna have to run these for a little bit. They're pretty fucking obnoxious. I haven't heard them past $3,000 yet, but chances are when I get into the throttle and start making boosts, they're gonna be loud. Guys, did I make a bad decision here? What do you guys think? Should I live with this and just let them bald eagles fly since it's not my daily? Or should I care a little bit more about people around me and put something a little bit more tame on?